An unprecedented boost to JobSeeker payments is one of the main recommendations of a key report on economic inclusion commissioned by the government. In fact, it was recommendation number 1. Let's go to Canberra. Joel Philp joins us. Joel, there are media reports out this morning too that the Treasurer is hosing down this recommendation.
That's right, Pete. Look, the recommendation is for an almost 40% increase to the JobSeeker rate, described in the report as seriously inadequate, which would bring it up to almost 90% of the age pension, but come with a price tag over a 4-year period of $24 billion. There are reports that the Treasurer is not going to follow through with this recommendation in full. The Government Services Minister, Bill Shorten, was asked about if he could live on the current rate of benefits on Sky News this morning. This is what he said.
Well, I couldn't live on it, so I'm not going to say that it's easy for people. But the decision about raising any rate is going to be one for the government and our economic team. We can only do what is responsible and sustainable, and unfortunately the budget that we inherited from the previous government is heaving with $1 trillion of Liberal debt, so can't do everything.
This is one of the recommendations of the Economic Inclusion Advisory Committee that was set up by the government in a deal brokered with Independent Senator David Pocock to get their IR reforms across the line late last year. And it features some hand-picked experts, and I'll run you through the list now, beginning with it's chaired by former Labor Minister Jenny Macklin. Cassandra Goldie from the Australian Social Services Organisation is there. Sally McManus, a prominent trade unionist from that peak union body here, and obviously Jennifer Westacott from the Business Council. So a diversity of familiar names there. Now, what is also being asked within this report, there are 37 recommendations, some of them more modest: an increase to rent assistance payments, that the government outline a clear time frame for these increases, and that it commit to a full employment objective by giving it increased weight in both fiscal and monetary policy, which is the RBA's role. So that's an interesting recommendation there. The Treasurer has responded to this report in writing, saying the government will always look to provide support where it is responsible and affordable to do so, and weighed up against other priorities and challenges. We can't fund every good idea. There'll be measures in the budget to address disadvantage. So Jim Chalmers with a lukewarm response there. Of course, he's preparing to deliver that budget, which is just weeks away, Pete.